Using a variable to describe a pattern. Now, this is a brand new concept, which makes it really exciting, to be honest. Our learning goal is to introduce the concept of a variable. So, looking at this, we see frame 1 has 2 squares, frame 2 has 3 squares, frame 3 has 4 squares, and so on. And when you look at the chart, you can see frame 1 has 2 squares. It's the exact same thing, just using numbers. Okay, so this is something that is something you're very familiar with. Moving along, we're going to now introduce something called a variable. So today, we're going to use the letter F. So F is called a variable. A variable has a meaning, and in this case, it means the frame number. So I'm going to introduce something called a formula. So this is the beginning of something called algebra. F plus 1 gets us the number of squares inside the frame. So we're going to check it out. So frame 2. So if F is 2, because it's frame 2, plus 1 would equal 3. So does frame 2 have 3 squares? 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's making sense. Let's try it randomly with frame 5. So if F means frame 5, so I put 5 there, plus 1, because that's part of our formula, we keep that the same, equals 6. And that would mean frame 5 would have 6 squares. Let's check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now if you were in my class, I would imagine a lot of people giving me this look going, what is she talking about? And that's why we have more examples. So here's the chart. It's a different chart. So frame 1 has 5 squares. Frame 2 has 6 squares, and you know how to read it going across. So our first step is to figure out what is the pattern going from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. So I'm going to give you a minute to figure that out. Okay, so remember, it's going to be either add, subtract, multiply, or divide. For this slideshow, it's either add or subtract. Now you can see the pattern is increasing, it's going up, so you know it's adding. So we're going to make up an expression knowing the pattern using a variable. So the pattern going across is plus 4. Between 1 to 5 is plus 4. 2 to 6 is plus 4. 3 to 7 is plus 4. So we're going to say F for the frame number plus 4 is going to give us the number of squares. Let's see if we're right. So for frame 1, so F plus 4 equals 5. So if frame 1 would be, the F becomes a 1. 1 plus 4 equals 5. The number of squares is 5. For frame 2, the F would become a 2. 2 plus 4 equals 6. In frame 4, were there 6? Hey, it's working. So let's test frame 3 and frame 4 just to make sure. So again, we replace the F with a 3 because this means the frame number. 3 plus 4 equals 7. That works. Works here too. Frame 4, F plus 4 equals 8. So we put this F as a 4 because it's frame 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. And it's the same. Nope, that's a prediction for the next. Oh, here it is. Frame 4. Here's 8. Now we're going to do a prediction. We know F, which is the frame number, plus 4 is going to give you the number of squares. So what would happen for frame 10? Because that wasn't on our chart. So in case you don't remember, frame 10. Okay, so the F becomes a 10 this time. So you're making a prediction of what would be on frame 10. Did you do 10 plus 4 equals 14? If you did, you're right. There will be 14 squares in that frame. What about frame 35? Do you remember what to do on your own? Try it. Now check your answer. When you're done, press pause. When you're ready to check your answer, press play. That is the correct answer. Did you do 35 plus 4 equals 39? So now we're going to try one more example. Frame 1 has 0 squares. Frame 2 has 1 square. Frame 3 has 2 squares. Frame 4 has 3 squares. We need to figure out this pattern. It's not increasing this time, it's decreasing, it's going lower. Take a look. So you figured out by now that it's -1. So now it's f. Take away 1 equals the number of squares. So we're going to test it. So for frame 1, frame 1 would become 1, take away 1 is 0. And there's a 0 here. Frame 2, 2 take away 1 is 1. Frame 2, take away 1 is 1. Good. So now we're going to predict what would happen in frame 35. Did you do 35 take away 1 is 34? Well, you're on your road to getting it. You did some really good work today for something so brand new. Congratulations.